Hi there, I'm Mike. What I have for you today is Star Wars The Black Series, number 38, Imperial Royal Guard. Here he is out of the packaging. If you watched my top 10 wish list that I made well over a year ago at this point, this guy was actually number 10 on my list, so I was super stoked when they announced him almost immediately after I made that list at Comic-Con. Comic-Con's coming up, so I'm expecting some more fun announcements. It bugs me that I'm making this video out of order. I like to go in numerical order, but this guy was pretty hard to find. As you know, I kind of figured he would be. He's a troop builder, he looks cool. He was a pretty highly anticipated figure from the moment he was announced. I know he was by me. All in all, I feel like Hasbro really went above and beyond with this guy. The only other version I've ever had of this is the Power of the Force 2 figure, which was basically a lump of plastic. That was it. That was kind of a disappointment. It looked good, but didn't do much. So with the 6-inch scale, I was very interested on how Hasbro was going to tackle this guy, and I feel like they did a really good job. So let's take a look at it. First, we're going to start with the head sculpt. They nailed it. It's hard not to. It's easy to nail things that aren't faces. Like, faces have to look like somebody. With this, they got the helmet right. That's exactly what the helmet looks like. They did a really good job of getting this helmet. The robe I figured was going to be soft goods, and I'm kind of glad they went with soft goods. It gives you a lot of options, I suppose, and we'll get into that. But, you know, this is just kind of what he looks like. Standing in the Emperor's throne room, they're just guys in robes standing there. There's not a whole lot to that, and that was basically my minimum for getting this guy. I didn't have a lot of high expectations. I just really wanted one or two of these to go with the really crappy Emperor Palpatine they made a couple of years ago. And this guy actually really outshines that figure because that figure is terrible. It's awful. After this, I really want them to kind of redo that so we get a better figure. As far as accessories go, we're going to get into that before I get into the rest of him. He comes with the Force Pike. Now, I do have him holding it like this, because that's how the Power of the Force 2 one held it, but you have a lot of options as far as how you want to hold it. He also comes with this little tiny gun. It's very similar, but maybe a little bit smaller than the one that comes with the Biker Scout. He has a holster on his leg that you can put it in, and I don't really have any troubles with it falling out, which is nice. We're just going to go ahead and lift up his skirts to reveal the surprisingly armored and detailed undergarments, but it looks really good. I'm very impressed by how this looks. I feel like Hasbro went above and beyond. I think they used Crimson Empire as sort of inspiration for how this looks. He has his holster on the side right here. Basically, from the neck down, this figure looks awesome, and you don't know that because it's covered by a big red robe that looks really boring. But that's sort of the mystique of the figure itself. They're robed figures. You don't know what's under there. You don't know what they can do, but you know the Emperor has basically entrusted them to be badasses to protect him. So you gotta know there's something cool under there. And this was cool. This is good. I guess my one complaint about this is there's no real way to remove the helmet and take this off just to have like this. That would be cool. But then we're not really in the character anymore because this is what shows up in the movie. This is the important part. This is icing on the cake, and icing is delicious. I do want to point out the one flaw my figure has. Right out of the box, this leg was bent, and I did have to soak it in some boiling water to kind of get it back into mostly good shape. Yours might come out with that. I don't know why mine did. Sometimes that just happens, I guess. If you've never done that before, super easy. Do exactly what I just said and you'll fix it. There's tons of videos you can look it up on YouTube. I'm not going to really describe that, but I just want to point out that I had to do it. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot of things I can say about this. We can look at the articulation really quick. Let's do that. On the head, there's not much because of the dip here. It hinders the forward-backwards movement and the side-to-side movement. Cape articulation is crazy. The arm goes this far out and all the way around. It has a single jointed bend. The wrist has a swivel and a hinge. There's a diaphragm joint for swiveling. The legs go forward that far, back that far, and there's a decent spread. Upper thigh rotation, double jointed knee, ankle hinge, and a ridiculous ankle rocker. And this being about as wide as stance with both his feet touching the ground. Not that you can really tell when he has his cloak down. The articulation is kind of what I expected. There's not a lot in the upper head area because it's just a big helmet that kind of droops down over his chest. It's like Michael Keaton's Batman outfit. It just naturally hinders what he can do. Like, I really can't fault it for that because it is what it is. You can, if you want to show off his Under Armour a little more, kind of give his cloak kind of a poncho style, which is not hard to maintain. You can have it looking on the shelf like this. It's not how it looked on the movie, but it looks pretty rad, right? I really don't have a lot of complaints about this figure, if any. I can't really think of anything that he's missing accessory-wise. The only thing I can think of is maybe, I know this is stupid, maybe an alternate head from the extended universe to go along with his more cooler looking body that they gave him. They gave him a rockin' bod, but he's still kind of held back by his head area. I mean, it's not a big deal, but now that I see this, I would like something a little more, but I feel like that's super nitpicky. They gave me exactly what I wanted, an Imperial Royal Guard. This guy, fantastic. He's definitely a troop builder. He belongs in your collection if you like Return of the Jedi or Extended Universe type stuff. I really like him. I can't recommend enough. I'm gonna give him 4.5 out of 5. I really have a hard time giving things perfect scores. They have to really, really wow me to give that solid 5 out of 5. But I feel like this is as good as it can get while just being this, and that's good enough. Definitely, if you can find this guy for a reasonable price, get him. I think I got this one on Amazon for a normal 20 bucks that I happened to get on a luck out. You can get them on like Dorkside, Entertainment Earth for reasonable amount of money. I haven't seen any of this wave in stores yet other than that one Lando I found in GameStop. So if you're looking for him, good luck. I recommend him. If you find him, I can guarantee you won't be disappointed. So that's it. That's really all I've got to say about this guy. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, you know, all the normal YouTube stuff. And I'll see you later. Bye.